What you gonna do when it all comes back to the place that you never wanted it to come back to? And where you gonna roll when the bottom drops out and you got no place to go? Who you gonna trust when trust is a must? You better roll with the rest of us. So pack your bags and all the faith you can, cause it's about ready to hit the fan. Come to the ready. 2012 brought about the re-election of an antichrist. Come to the ready.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pierce Kibbe, and I am the founder and chief instructor for a veteran-owned company located in Lakeland, Florida, called Practice Inc. Our main purpose is to make tactical practical. That being said, and with recent events, not only here in my home state of Florida, but a buddy of mine's up in North Carolina and along the coast in Georgia, some people are in some really bad situations, and many of them were not expected. Unfortunately, the weather did not predict that it would go as far as it did, and some of us were spared more than others. Unfortunately, North Carolina was not one of those. Per my buddy up there, who's an EMT and a firefighter, it's the most water he's seen since he's been there, and he grew up there. So a lot of people are some really hard and struggling times. And anything that you can do out there, there's plenty of different websites and different opportunities, or if you have the time to volunteer and go up there and help, do that if you can. The main purpose of this video right now is to talk about proactive versus reactive, right? So proactive means you have already taken the initiative and purchased some quality gear and equipment for particular reasons. Now, I like redundancy, so a large amount of the gear that I have bought over the years relies upon AA's. And I have rechargeable AA's for that, and some AAA's too that are rechargeable. But it allows me to have that redundancy, both with my solar power charger and a couple of different methods. Which brings us to this. Okay, communication is great. You need to have a communication plan. If you need some recommendations or some assistance, please let me know, and I can help you get a disaster communication plan going for you and your family or friends. But the main thing is we crave knowledge, right? And with that, we need to be able to hear. Not only just communicate a lot of times, but we need to be able to hear and to find out what's going on. As things become inundated and power goes down, we need to have the ability to listen, and something that's portable, and this brings that to the table. Now, I've done a lot of research on a lot of different radios, and I have some different options. This is a great little radio for what it is. This is the Kaito, as in Kaito, right here, down in the bottom right corner, and it's the Voyager model. Okay, this is a newer radio. This has a lot of great features and a lot of redundancy to it, which is the really important part to me. And this is the KA, as in Kilo Alpha 500. It's a great radio. It does a lot of different versatile functions. Works well for any outdoor preparedness activities, or if you're just going out to the beach and you want some different options to power it and don't have to worry about trying to bring a generator or something like that, you've got this little guy. And the big thing that I like about it is, again, in that redundancy, and this gives you multiple ways. So you have the ability to plug in an AC DC adapter here into the back. As you can see, you've got a couple different options with a USB outlet, your DC power, and on the bottom you've got a mini USB, and you've got a little microphone jack right there. But this is just some of the options. Then you look in here, and it already comes with the rechargeable batteries in here. That's how it came with this one, but you do have the ability to use other batteries in here also. And for those of you that may have noticed, you've got a solar panel right here along the top, and I have not really had a chance to get out there and work with it as much as I'd like. But it does allow you to tilt and adjust the angle as you need it for the angle of the sun. The most part that I've dealt with has actually been the hand crank over here on the side, which is actually pretty efficient. It does power it pretty well. It helps recharge those batteries. With that USB plug or mini USB plug on there, you can actually plug your phone into this and use that hand crank or the solar panel to charge it. I couldn't tell you the charging time on it, but if you're just looking for a little bit of power, enough to take the edge off, this will do it. If you've got the time and you've got the sun, you know, of course, keep your phone out of the direct sunlight, but throw this out there, tilt the solar panel as you need it, and just let it do its job. Of course, you've got a pretty heavy-duty little carrying strap here. On the top, you're going to see a couple different things. It's going to say lights, it's going to do a reading lamp, and then you've got SOS. So if you're looking at it, here you've got your different selections for power. So it's off right now. We can go off the battery. We can switch it over to the solar crank. Go ahead and turn the power down. We can go ahead and put it on the no alert, right? Go ahead and stick this antenna up. Decent little antenna, a little over a foot in height, and it'll give you some pretty good reception. I will recommend a 20-foot reel antenna that I keep with all my gear that comes in really handy. Reception is pretty good on this. The audio quality is pretty good. You can hear it pretty clearly. Let's see if we can tune in any of the weather. Now I'm in a metal building, so I'm not holding my breath, but you're going to have to play with the channels to figure out which one is yours for your area. And I'm not getting it right now on weather, so let's try FM. All right.
I want to be led to the ones who need healing.
You can see as you scroll through it, you've got AM and the channels. You got FM telling you the channel. You've got shortwave and shortwave 2. You're going to notice the difference in the steps here. It's pretty sensitive, so if you just scroll just a little bit, you can do pretty good. Having that extra antenna length on it will give you better reception, but this is just a nice little option to have. It's AM, shortwave 1 and 2. Sounds like Chinese. I don't speak Chinese, so I can't help you on that. But it does have a couple different options, and that's just on shortwave 1. You know, you can switch to shortwave 2 and go through it. It's just a nice option to have. Like I said, if you switch to different areas, you can go, you know, work that crank, and you'll see where it says tuning and charging. That'll let you know that it's actually working with that little generator in there for the hand crank. It's not too hard. I couldn't tell you how long it would take to charge a cell phone or anything like that, but it would be enough just to take the edge off. Now it does have, like we talked about up here on the top, it does have some lights on it. So you've got the backlight here on the panel, which is nice. You've also got a light here on the front, which is a nice addition to have if you're trying to see your way through something. And then you actually have a reading lamp right there, which is pretty nice. You can, if you're trying to look at something, you can set it down, read what you got to read, and just be mindful that if you don't have a lot of batteries or anything like that, you don't want to take all your time and battery using it for the reading lamp. But you can also use this for signaling to attract attention, different things like that, right? And then of course, keeping that in mind for attention, you have SOS. SOS flashes out red. Okay. And that's important just to have that redundancy. Remember, anything repeated in triplicates, whether it's noise, whether it's a whistle blast, or whether it's a light flashing, that's a sign of distress that you can use to your advantage. As I talked about here, lets you switch. You put it on weather. It'll give you 1 through 7 of the weather bands. You can put it on FM. It's very easy to do. You've got AM, and again, the frequencies correspond up here, and that does have a light to it. It does have shortwave and then shortwave too. And like I said, you've got the off on here, your battery, your solar crank, and your NOAA alert. The other thing that I will also happen to mention on here, and I don't think that I did, is that you can actually connect this and power it through your PC. So if you had a laptop or something and you wanted to plug it in there, you could go ahead and plug it into your laptop or PC or USB device and go ahead and charge it up if you needed to. Like the jump start packs or different things like that, little portable power packs, this may be something that you'd want to plug in there in case cell service or something goes down. At least you can still listen to the radio, right? So again, this is the Kaito, Kaito Voyager. As you can see, Voyager up here, and it's the KA500 model. Okay, this does have the solar crank. It does have the solar panel on it, or the hand crank, the solar panel on it. It does have the rechargeable batteries that come with it. You can power it with 3 AA batteries. You can also plug it into a USB device, such as a laptop or something similar with USB capabilities, and you can also plug it into a wall with the AC connector adapter. Mine that I got did not come with that AC adapter, so I have not plugged it in there. Like with any antennas, just be mindful, these things are pretty fragile, so be very careful with it. I will again include the link in there for the actual adapter for it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, comment below. I will include the frequency range this does on all the frequencies that you can see up there. Otherwise, not much else to go on here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I look forward to hearing from more of you. Oh, and the weight. I want to let you know the weight. The item weight as it is only 1.8 pounds, and that is as it comes with the actual rechargeable batteries in there. Not any other batteries or anything like that. This just weighs 1.8 pounds. It isn't waterproofed or anything like that, so you would have to be mindful of keeping it out of some different conditions like that. But otherwise, that's about it. It is 8.3 inches in width by 2.3 inches in depth, and then it is another 5.3 inches width or height, right? So top to bottom. Anyways, have a great day, and again, really pay attention and take that proactive approach, not the reactive approach, because you never know. The weather folks, they do their best out there, but it's not infallible, and Mother Nature can be unpredictable. So be proactive, be ready to take care of your family, be ready to listen to what else is going on. Radio is a great function. Yes, of course, we all like our internet and social media and everything, but you can't beat a radio. And having that shortwave capability, you may even be able to pick up what other countries may be talking about, what's going on in your area if your local radio is down. As always, remember Proverbs 22:3 says, "Prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. A simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences." Have a good night.